Atlus is no stranger to leaks. We had a ton of leaks leading into the announcement of Persona 3 Reload, and it's starting to look like the exact same thing is happening to Persona 4 Remake as well. It all started with the domain registration for Persona 4 Re, matching the same registration that Persona 3 Reload had prior to its announcement, which clued people off that a remake of Persona 4 was indeed happening. And now we got some more leaks that have a lot more, let's just say, ire to them than any of the leaks previous. Some people even think that this is some sort of marketing campaign for the game, and if it is, it's one of the most untraditional ones that I've ever seen. So a few days ago, Yuri Lowenthal, the voice actor for Yosuke Hanamura, went on his Blue Sky account and seemingly confirmed the existence of Persona 4 Remake and confirmed that he has nothing to do with it, with him saying, quote, "And for those who keep asking, no, I will not be returning as Yosuke for the Persona 4 Remake. I asked, maybe I even begged, but they don't want me to come back." He then, later on, deleted this tweet, as it caused a massive storm of people saying, well, this kind of confirms the existence of Persona 4 Remake, doesn't it? The fact that he asked, and in his own words, he says he begged to come back, and that they didn't want him to come back, I mean, that more or less confirms a conversation happened about the existence of the game, and they didn't want him to reprise his role. This is something that we've seen with the Persona remakes continue to be a trend. It's also something that we've seen with more remakes than just Persona. Of course, Persona 3 refreshed its entire voice cast, and while many of the OG voice actors returned to play minor NPCs around town, the main cast itself featured brand new actors. It seems like they're going to be doing the same with Persona 4 Remake. But as I mentioned, other remakes have done this too. Final Fantasy VII Remake series is a primary example of this, where there was a cast for Advent Children and the compilation that was semi-consistent with actors such as Steve Burton playing Cloud. For the remake, they wanted to go with younger actors for the English dub. But it is incredibly rare to witness a voice actor just openly say this before the game was announced. And even more crazy, Yuri is not the only voice actor who has opened up about this. Erin Fitzgerald, the voice actress for Chie, has also had this to say on her Blue Sky account. "For those asking, I have not been asked to reprise my role as Chie Satonaka in the Persona 4 Remake. Rest in peace. I am blessed to have recorded as many Persona 4 games as I did playing her." So again, having two voice actors come out and confirm this, incredibly shocking. This is not something that we normally see happen, but it's not just two. There is a third voice actor who has come out to speak about this. Amanda Wynn Lee, the voice actress for Yukiko, says on her Twitter account, "Since I've had several people ask me, no, I wasn't asked to voice Yukiko in the Persona 4 Remake." Guys, this is nuts. I don't think we've really seen this many voice actors come out before a project was even properly announced and say stuff like this and clarify that they have no involvement in the project that is coming up. Now, they probably didn't sign any type of NDA. Normally, you're only going to sign the NDA if you're actually involved in the project. And so I imagine for them, without that NDA being signed, they felt like they were free to say whatever. And considering that voices like Yuri, for example, are very high profile, remember this is the guy that plays Spider-Man in the Spider-Man games and a ton of other characters throughout media. He is one of the highest profile voice actors. It just seems unlikely that it will hurt him too much, but generally speaking, this is like one of those things in the industry that can definitely do a little bit of harm to your reputation as companies are looking for people who don't just share these secrets. So for them to essentially just go out and say, yeah, we're pissed that we don't get to reprise our characters, honestly says a lot to me. Now, there's a lot of people out there that think this is some sort of marketing strategy, that this is preparing people for a very big reveal of Persona 4 Remake happening soon. Summer Games Fest is happening very soon, and this is where they think that it could be revealed. And, you know, as of the recording of this video, which is right before Summer Games Fest, I think that is entirely possible. Some people have also pointed out that it's happening in the order of the characters awakening. Yosuke awakens first, then Chie, then Yukiko, and this gives them more speculation that this is all part of some sort of marketing scheme to boost the virality of Persona 4. I'm gonna be honest, I just don't think it's that. Like, it just doesn't strike me as some sort of, 4D chess that they're playing here. I think the actors are just pissed. I think that's what this really is. I've also noticed that some people have pointed out, why is it that only the English dub gets this type of refresh? And, for the seiyus, the Japanese side of the voice acting, it pretty much always stays the same. This is also true on projects like Final Fantasy VII Retrilogy. And I don't think it's that they don't respect English dubs per se. For starters, there's a bit more of a cultural thing in Japanese voice acting that once you play that character, you are that character. And in any and all appearances, you will return as that character. That's not necessarily the case with Western media all the time. And so it is more typical here that you would see cast refreshes. But also, the West in general is just more fond of the idea of rebooting anyway. On top of which, I don't think it's any disrespect to English voice acting or the English audience. In fact, I think it's about putting more into the English production and not less. I don't think that they're arbitrarily refreshing these actors. I think that they want a fresh, younger sound for the characters. Now, whether you agree with that or not, I totally understand, and I wouldn't really give any debate to it, but that is just what I think that Atlas thinks that they're doing whenever they do these cast refreshes. I can say that I thought the acting in Persona 3 Reload was phenomenal, and the Reload voice cast does such an incredible job.
In this scene, the main character says, "That ass better not crack under pressure." Usually, people's asses are already cracked. Yours is as well, right?
And I don't think that's because, the new actors are just more talented than the old actors or anything like that. We just have different voice direction and different voicing standards. And also the technology has gotten better, so we don't have as many of the old restrictions around voice acting and especially dubbing that we used to. English voice acting, especially on Japanese productions, are given way more budget, way more focus and polish than they used to be. And this is because we here in the West buy a ton of Japanese games and are one of their core markets. This does suck, and I did love the voice cast for Persona 4 Golden, although I'm sure whoever the new actors are, they're going to do a phenomenal job. But I do think with us talking about Persona 4 Remake and it coming up so much, there does seem to be a good chance that we will see an announcement for the game soon. Whether that's at Summer Games Fest or not, I don't know, but it does look like it's coming before Persona 6. Speaking of Persona 6, there are going to be a lot of games announced at Summer Games Fest. And if you want to hear my extended thoughts on it, I have a brand new podcast with Schrodinger's Baby Seal and Daryl from Final Fantasy Union called Terminally Online Gamers, where we talk about all of our Summer Games Fest predictions and where we think this industry is headed. And be sure to check out our first episode too, where we did a Claire Obscure Expedition 33 spoiler cast with Gene Park and Hayes Madsen. You can find all this and more with the link in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next video, and I hope you're prepared for Summer Games Fest hype. Later, guys.